Damian, and we've been here in the primary school for about a week now, and mostly teaching class 6 and 7 and 5 as well. And what can I say is that I was really surprised by how really curious those children are, and how in such difficult conditions they can struggle and fight for the knowledge here, because it's very much different in here than in Poland, and the experience itself of seeing those conditions. Some of the classes are so poorly equipped and in quite devastating states. The blackboards are very rough, and it just seems like it's an endeavor for the teachers to actually put some knowledge into those kids. But from my perspective, the way the kids cooperate and the way they want to actually fill their heads with something is quite heartwarming, actually. With Laura, we've been teaching them mostly English and maths, sometimes science, and there isn't much difference between what I can see here and what I know from Poland. Actually, some of the kids are very bright, very intelligent. They think very critically. They think fast, and on the intellectual level, there's no discrepancy between in here and in Poland and Europe in general. It's just that the conditions are devastating here.
Anybody know how to pronounce it? Oh.
Yeah, that's close. That's close. Yeah.
Oh. It's like a very nasal.
You have to work with your nose here.
Yeah. Like oh.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's better.
Yeah. Oh. And that one is. Yeah.
Yes? Okay. So maybe you can tell me something about special traditions or special food or meals in Kenya. Okay. Do you want to share any special traditions with me? Yes? Yes. So who wants to raise your hand? Nobody? Okay, so maybe I heard that you have a special meal or maybe special dish which is called ugali. Yes. What's it?
SOWO is. It seemed to me like a family that lives at Mama Sora's house. Very, tight bonds between the members. Well, I think that firstly, when we met Peter, the chairman, it was kind of exciting to be in his presence, because his spirits are just so alive, I have to say, and I think that to an extent it reflects on the SOWO in whole. Well, what can I say? In Poland, I tried to think of an organization like this in Poland, but I couldn't. So it's something quite original that orphans and widows are being taken care of, and I think those mothers and those children, mothers of Kenya and children of Kenya are, children are the foundation of a nation, so to speak, and I think it's a very good thing that SOWO does. It's promising, and it has a in the future definitely will benefit the whole, not only SIAYA but the whole Kenya and even Africa, as it is definitely not only change in the economical state of those women, those children, but also it gives them hope, and it gives them uh, the idea that there are people willing to help, that there's always something to do, which is very important, as we said, because of the mentality. And it's very helpful, I believe.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The school is Nyadi Primary School in Central Alego Ward, Ulongi Zone, SIAYA Sub-County. Now, the school has been in existence from 1913 to date, and from 2015 we have been working very closely with SOWO. Among the things that SOWO has done for the school, we have planted trees. SOWO has helped in JIGGER eradication. They have given us shoes for the children to put on. We have also got a lot of material support in the form of uniforms. Like in the last instance, we had 63 pairs of uniform that was fitted for my children between classes 1 to 8. I would want to sincerely thank my two volunteers from Poland, that is Damian and Laura. From the time they came to the school, my children have had a very unique experience because
Sit down!
The lessons they gave to my children, the communication they had, the cultural experiences that we had, have made our children appreciate the international awareness, the experiences from the Polish people, the Polish system of education compared to ours. And I'm glad to note that during the period, the learners were able to compare and appreciate that what we give them here is similar to or the same as what is offered internationally. I would wish to ask SOWO organization and the Polish government to continue partnering with the school by giving us more volunteers for cross-cultural sharing and experiences. I would also wish to ask the Polish government to consider improving our very humble resources that we have in the compound.
I also get to know how enthusiastic and how lively and how full of energy to get to know new things students are. So I'm very, very glad that I decided to volunteer here. We really liked each other and understood each other, and students were very, very eager to learn, to study with me, and sometimes they even wanted to stay on breaks and have lessons with me, which was very, very surprising because in Poland there were very, very few students who want to spend more time than planned at school.
But actually, it was very, very fun. Even though the pitch is not that it's not that maintained, and maybe there is no real organization in the teams and anything like that. It's still very fun to play football with those kids, and yeah, it just shows how good-spirited and well-nurtured those kids are. And we also play football in Poland, but in here it's a bit different. It's with those trees, with this sun, it's like running through a jungle, and for me it's quite something, really.
First of all, it's my first time in Kenya, and when I came here, I didn't have that many fears. It was like a very simple and very plain fear that I won't be able to get used to the heat and to the hotness of being at the equator. So it was harsh at the very beginning. I mean, like very, very exhausting. But with time, I got too used to it, but I think that that I will have to like live here for a year to get too used to it.
Well, it's my second time. The last time I was here, it was mostly recreational, just driving around Kenya, seeing all the landscapes, the beautiful things here. And now, well, I didn't have that many fears coming in here. Mostly, what I was slightly worried about was the tropical diseases, but since I was here, 2 weeks before and I didn't catch anything, I thought, well, why not just go?
Maybe I was quite surprised that people are that, well, people who suffer from malnutrition or who suffer from poverty are that positive and are eager to take some action and take measures. So that was surprise for me, but the overall experience was, of course, very positive.
Everyone was very friendly and with open arms they welcomed us. And what can I say? Well, the basic rural life here is pretty much the same as in Poland. And yes, even though there are diseases here, there are problems. There's malaria, AIDS, and among other things. For example, one time we were at Valmasaras, and a boy, I believe was named Frederick, he approached us, and Ken told us he had malaria. And it was very surprising to me that he looked just like an average person. Just came up and, well, he has malaria, and it's like a no big deal. But so yeah, that was well, it certainly destroyed some biases I had, because we thought, mostly like most Europeans, that malaria is some lethal virus or something, and we didn't even know what it was.
So a lot of people in Europe or in very well, how to say it, civilized countries, more developed countries. So many young people take education for granted, which means that they come to school because they have to go to school, and they leave school as soon as possible. And what I learned here is the fact that well, the vast majority of world population doesn't have well, education is not something to take for granted for them. So that is probably the most important thing, and the most valuable thing that I learned, and I will remember not to take the fact that I will go to the university as something that obvious as yeah.
It's for me, education here is something that it's like it's not like something given, but something that has to be fought for and worked to get. It's just like developing, and in our country we take it as a duty that most people don't really want to perform, and in here it's something that can, I don't know, release them from their struggles in life. And every time I visit Africa, well, it's my third time, I get uplifting emotions inside of me that say basically that life is so different in so many different places, and I have to be thankful and grateful for everything I have.
Yeah.
So actually, in Poland, when I was in Poland and when I didn't know that Damian was here, I heard, I didn't know what SOWO was. So thanks to Damian and thanks to the fact that I came here, I got the opportunity to get to know what SOWO exactly does. So
It's pretty obvious that this is a foundation, but maybe I would say that SOWO consists of people that that have enough courage to change something, and who have enough passion to be fighting for the better future, let's say. Yes. Okay.